If you're working hard to lose weight but still not seeing results, this episode is for you. Today I'm going to break down 6 of the most important truths about weight loss that I wish every single person knew. These are practical tips on how to do it, common mistakes that people are making all the time, and myths that need to be busted. If you have a weight loss goal and you truly take this episode in, I promise you, it's going to make a huge difference. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Best You podcast. This podcast exists to help you be more competent and a higher character person so that you can live a life of more meaning and impact. My name is Nick Carrier, and I'm a body optimization coach and creator of the 10-week transformation. The 10WT has transformed the bodies and the lives of now over 1,000 people so far. And if you want to learn more about the program, then go to nickcarrier.com/10WT. For now, let's dive into today's episode. All right, y'all, I am really excited to dive into this one because currently, I'm just going to let you know, currently in the 10-week transformation, I am coaching 66 people in person that I see 2 or 3 times a week, and I'm coaching another 6 people virtually that I meet 1 time a week on a Zoom call, and then also I'm texting them throughout the week as well. And I have 23 of them that currently have a weight loss goal. And I've been doing this for a long time. I've coached over 1,000 people in the 10-week transformation. I know what's going to get results. And not only do I know what's going to get results, but I know the common mistakes that people make. And I know the common misbeliefs or the common myths that people believe that they're improperly acting upon and improperly getting to their psychology, therefore holding them back from achieving their goals. And so today we're going to dive into 6 things that I wish every single person, like before even starting a 10-week transformation, would know, but also anybody out there who has a weight loss goal, who wants to attack a weight loss goal, what I wish you would know so that you can attack it appropriately with right tips and strategies, but also you know the right psychology and expectations that will lead to long-term success. So I'm excited to dive into it. But before I do, I would love to invite you guys to join us for the Best You Retreat, January 8th through 11th, 2026. It's an hour west of Nashville. And y'all, we're going to get clear on how we're going to kick ass in 2026. Let's just say it how it is. We're going to get clear on how we can improve all areas of our life. And not only improve them, but just be as intentional as possible in all 6 areas of our life: our health, our personal life, our career, finances, spiritual life, and relationships. If you want to come join us, then go to nickcarrier.com/bestyouretreat. Again, nickcarrier.com/bestyouretreat, January 8th to 11th, 2026. Would love to see you there. Okay, let's dive into the 6th weight loss truths that really nobody is talking about. Okay, the first one is very much a mindset shift and a mindset adoption that needs to take place before embarking on a weight loss goal. And it's this: weight loss isn't king. The number on the scale does not dictate whether or not you're a good person. It does not dictate whether you're a child of God. It is not your identity. It's not whether you're a successful person or not. And it's not even a full picture of your health. It's just one representation. And so weight loss should not be the end-all, be-all, North Star when it comes to our health and fitness journey. That said, it is a piece of our health and fitness journey. And a lot of people out there, if they have a weight loss goal, maybe they should have a weight loss goal to really properly improve their health. However, it should not be like this, like I said, the end all be all. And if it is the end all be all and you're only focused on that, then you're setting yourself up for failure moving forward in the future. So number 1 is weight loss isn't king. And that's a really important mindset to adopt when embarking on a weight loss goal. Number 2, this is a very practical expectation to have for yourself. Weight loss should happen at a rate of about 0.5 pound to 2 pounds on average per week. This is super important to understand. This is super important to lay the proper expectations, because if you think it should happen faster than that and then it does not, then you're going to think that your strategy is not working. Therefore, you're not going to implement it any further, and therefore, you're not going to actually see the results that you want to see. So this is kind of like a prerequisite. You want to make sure that you understand the right expectation about what weight loss means. And again, this is on average. This does not mean that every single week you should lose 0.5 pound, or every single week you should lose 1 pound or 1.5 or 2 pounds, right? It's on average, and progress isn't going to necessarily be linear. So for example, maybe in week 1 you lose 1 pound. Maybe in week 2 you lose 1/4 of a pound. Maybe in week 3, you lose half a pound. Maybe in week 4, you lose 2 pounds. Like every single week might be a little bit different because weight's just a funny thing, and how fast fat falls off your body is dependent on a lot of different factors. And so understand that when I say on a weekly basis, on average, it should go down half a pound to 2 pounds. That's average over the course of a span of weeks. Maybe over the course of 6, 8, 10, 12, 16 weeks. That's what that means. That means that over 16 weeks, maybe you lose 16 pounds, but it's not 1 pound every single week per se. Also, you want to make sure that you're laying the right expectation of half a pound to 2 pounds, because you don't want it to happen faster than that. And if it happens faster than that, what's happening is you're probably losing some muscle, and on some of it's probably water weight. But water weight usually comes off more in the beginning. But if you're continually losing it faster than that, you're going to be losing some muscle, because fat does not just evaporate like that. Fat loss takes time. Fat doesn't just burn super, super quickly for most of us. And so if you're losing more than that, that means you're probably losing some muscle as well. And you don't want just weight loss. You want fat loss, because if you're losing muscle, you're setting yourself up for failure in a lot of different ways long term. So the second point, the second truth that most people don't talk about is the appropriate expectation that you should be losing on average about half a pound to 2 pounds per week. The third truth is it's not all about cardio. I know so many of us, it's so hard to get ourselves out of that line of thinking. We think sweating more means losing more weight. Sweating does not mean losing more weight. Sweating means I'm losing more water in the moment. That's all it is. I think a lot of people think that cardio is what leads them to weight loss, because after they do a workout that causes them to sweat a lot, they feel lighter, because you are lighter, because you lost a lot of water, but you didn't lose a lot of fat. You lost a lot of water, and you're just going to replace that water via your hydration and your food moving forward. And so you're not actually losing fat, you're losing water. Therefore, you feel lighter in the moment, but that doesn't necessarily lead to more fat loss moving forward. Now, I'm not saying cardio isn't good. Cardio is great, and cardio should play a role in your fat loss goal. It's just not king. It's not king. You want to make sure you're doing an appropriate amount of resistance training and strength training as well. And lastly, on this point, I think a lot of people think that if I just run enough, or if I just bike enough, or if I just do the elliptical enough, then I'm going to be good. But you can't out-exercise a bad diet. You need to be in a caloric deficit in order to lose body fat. And the one easiest way to get into a caloric deficit is by decreasing the number of calories that you consume rather than increasing the number of calories that you burn. For a whole host of different reasons. That's a topic that I've covered on other podcasts, in terms of when you work out more, your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, the calories that you burn throughout the remainder of the day is going to go down. And so number 3 is it's not all about cardio. Number 4 is just to be straight up and honest with you, is it's not as easy as you think. I don't think that a lot of people necessarily think it's easy, because a lot of people think, man, this is stubborn weight. I can't get it off. But that being said, I guarantee you that a lot of you out there, you have to be better than you think. I have a client right now that I've been working with who had told me that for a while that she'd been eating pretty well, that she eats pretty well, and nutrition isn't something that really gets the best of her. But then we really started to look at it, and we changed the way that we look about her weekly nutritional goal, and then some of the truths started to come out. We started to realize some of the snacks that she was having. We started to realize some of the late night desserts that she was having, the stress eating that was going on. And so that wasn't to shame her per se, but she thought that, those things weren't really going to impact her in a negative manner all that much when it comes to her weight loss goals. And it's like, yes, it does. You have to be pretty damn good. You have to be 80% good, 90% good, 95% good in order to actually see the results that you want to see. And you can't just do it for 1 week. You can't just do it for 2 weeks. You've got to be consistent week after week after week after week. If I'm coaching a client, I don't let them abandon their strategy or change anything until they've had consistently 4 good weeks in a row. I mean, not even 4 good weeks, but 4 great weeks in a row. If you have 4 great weeks in a row, seemingly great weeks in a row, and you're not seeing any results, then I'm like, okay, let's dive a little bit deeper and see what might be going on and see what we might need to tweak. But if you are great for 4 weeks in a row, I guarantee you're going to see progress. I guarantee you're going to start seeing results. And so number 4, it's not as easy as you think. You can't just be okay for 1 week, good another week, okay for a week, good for another week. You've got to be good, if not great, week after week after week. Number 5 is weight loss gets harder the leaner that you are. Most of you guys know this, but this kind of just piggybacking off of number 4. It's not as easy as you think. It's like the leaner you get, the more dialed in that you're going to be. I'm just making up kind of an analogy right now. But if you are relatively overweight, let's say you need to lose 20 or 30 pounds, then you can probably get by with A- execution and see results. But if you're already lean and you're trying to go, if like a guy, let's say, is trying to go from a 10% body fat to a 7% body fat, or even like a 15 to a 12 or 11 or a 10. And ladies, if you're trying to go from maybe a 23% body fat to a 20 or a 26 to a 23, like you can't get away with A- execution. You have to have A+, A+ week after week after week after week, the leaner that you get, because the leaner that you get, the less body fat your body has, and therefore it is less likely to want to give it away. And so the leaner you are, the harder it gets. That's point number 5. Before I dive into point number 6, I want to re-invite you one more time to join us on the Best You Retreat. Y'all, we are going to kick ass in 2026 by planning how we're going to intentionally attack all 6 areas of our life. I think that's one of the biggest struggles that so many of us have and so many of you have, is we're trying to juggle all the things. Our kids' schedules, our own schedule, our work schedule, our finances, our spiritual life, our health, the relationships with not only our spouse, but our kids, and our relationship with our friends. Like there's so many balls being juggled up in the air. How do you know how to prioritize these things? Well, that's exactly what we talk about at the Best You Retreat. So come join us January 8th through 11th, 2026, an hour west of Nashville. You can find more details at nickcarrier.com/retreat. Again, nickcarrier.com/retreat. The 6th and final weight loss truth that no one talks about is you have to focus on the process. Obviously, I'm a big goal setter. I think that you should set a amount of weight that you want to lose and a deadline by which you want to lose it. And the reason why that is effective or can be effective is the number of pounds helps guide your strategy. If you're trying to lose 20 pounds in 12 weeks versus 10 pounds in 10 weeks, the strategy might be a little bit different. You might need to go a little bit higher intensity. If you're looking to lose 20 pounds, you might need to be in a greater caloric deficit if you're trying to lose 20 pounds compared to if you were trying to lose 10 pounds, let's say. So number 1, it guides your strategy. And the second reason for a deadline is it provides you with a sense of urgency. If there's kind of like this artificial deadline, if you will, like a wedding date or just a made up date or your high school reunion or Christmas or whatever it might be, if you put a deadline on it, that provides you with a sense of urgency to act, right? And so the amount of weight that you want to lose in that deadline provides you with strategic decision-making and a sense of urgency. So that's important. But then after you set that goal, you kind of have to just leave it. And then you got to focus on the process. So in the 10-week transformation, I have everybody identify 2 or 3 weekly habits. Like, okay, if the goal is to lose 10 pounds, what are like just the 2 or 3 things that you need to do every single week that, if done every single week, will reliably and predictably allow you to achieve your goal? And usually that's going to be a weekly fitness goal, a weekly nutrition goal, and maybe one more. And then it's just like focus on those things. Get your workouts in, eat your meals, get your steps in. Get your workouts in, eat your meals, get your steps in. Get your workout in, eat your meals, get your steps in. If you just focus on those 3 things, boom, 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 on a daily and weekly basis, the weight loss will take care of itself. So set the goal. So the amount of weight that you want to lose, set the deadline, but then focus on the execution of the process and following through with the promises that you make to yourself. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want more information about the process, about really those weekly habits that will guarantee fat loss, then I recommend you watch this video if you're watching on YouTube. It's called The 5 Habits That Guarantee Fat Loss. This is a previous podcast episode that we've done, and it's going to really get into the nitty-gritty, like, okay, Nick, you're talking about weight loss. How do we actually execute it? What's the strategy for it? Boom. You can click on watch this video. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I hope these 6 truths are something that you really take to heart and that you really apply. Remember, number 1, weight loss isn't king. Number 2, it should happen at a rate of about half a pound to 2 pounds on average per week. Number 3, it ain't all about cardio, people. Number 4, it's sure as hell not as easy as you think. Number 5, it gets harder the leaner that you get. And number 6, set the goal, but y'all focus on the process. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Share it with a friend or family member who might be embarking on their own weight loss journey and weight loss goal. If you're listening on the Apple Podcast app or on Spotify, hit the follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, come on now, hit that like and subscribe button down below. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. I hope this episode helps you achieve your health and fitness goals, and ultimately, I hope it helps you get closer and closer to your best you.